I died a terrible death in the Naughty Party Cave. I am John Edward Jones, 26 years old, a medical student, and I will tell you my story. On September 24th, 2009, I went to the Naughty Party Cave in New with friends and my family. As children, my brothers and I often explored caves with our father, and this adventure was like a journey into the past for us. Around 8 p.m., my brother Josh and I separated from the group to find a special challenge, a narrow but passable passage called Birth Kennel. Shortly after, we also separated from each other to explore on our own. Unknowingly, I took a wrong turn and entered an unexplored part of the cave system. The tunnel became narrower, but I couldn't turn back or crawl out. I kept crawling, and eventually the tunnel was only 45 centimeters wide and 25 centimeters high. A narrow gap in the floor appeared before me, and I couldn't go back. So, I wedged myself headfirst into the tiny gap to see if there was a slightly larger cavity behind it where I could turn around and crawl back. Unfortunately, there was no such cavity. My desperate struggle to free myself only caused me to slide deeper and my body to slip into the narrow side of the gap. My headlamp fell off my helmet, and one arm became stuck beneath me while the other was wedged back by a rock ledge, making any further movement impossible. Now, I was vertically stuck with my head down in a tight rock crevice. I couldn't move at all, and only my feet protruded into the tight, low tunnel from the narrow opening above. When my brother Josh learned that I was stuck, he crawled down feet first to reach me, but he also got stuck in the tight tunnel. However, he managed to free himself. When he saw my feet sticking out of the tunnel's end, he was devastated. Rescue teams were called, and Josh stayed with me to provide emotional support and talk to me. We prayed together. "I'm so sorry, Father, but please get me out of here. Save me for my wife and children." Trauma physician Dome Murdoch explained that my body wasn't built to hang upside down. Toxins would accumulate in my blood, and my body would gradually fail. I only had about 8 to 10 hours left to live. The rescue teams tirelessly fought around me, but it seemed hopeless. There was simply no way to free me from the narrow cave. I fluctuated between despair, wild kicking and struggling, and calm conversation with the rescuers. I just wanted to get out of there, but the more time passed, the weaker I became. My voice became weak, and breathing became increasingly difficult. It was unbearable. To be trapped in this darkness, I began to lose touch with reality. I knew I was going to die. The last hope was not to be pulled out with a hoist system, but the tunnel ceiling was too low. It was hopeless. I asked about Ryan, one of the rescuers who had been injured during the attempt, then everything became silent around me. I knew I was going to die. After 28 agonizing hours, I was pronounced dead. I couldn't be saved. The Naughty Party Cave became my final resting place. It's a terrible thought that I died in this dark, narrow space and will never see my family again. The cave has since been closed and access is restricted.